Krishna Krishna गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय।
VrajBhiari प्रभु की
जय।
हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. His Grace VrajBhiari Prabhu has been a brahmachari in the Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple ISKCON Chowpatty for more than 25 years. And he has, we are extremely fortunate that we have received his presence over here. I would really want to give him a very, very warm welcome. We are expecting more devotees. If in case you can kindly please shift a bit more forward. Prabhuji has already written 5 books. How many of you like cricket over here? His first book was Cricket in a Monastery. And the last book, 5th book which he has written right now is called as Lessons on the Road. So I have some copies of his book. So if in case you so desire, then I can definitely distribute it to you. And for sure, Prabhuji has written over 1200 articles. He has given more than 500 lectures on various different topics, right from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or even Ramayana. I am sure if in case you get to listen to even one of those classes, you will be fully mesmerized, just as you will be mesmerized today after hearing this class. The topic which we have requested Prabhuji to speak upon is a very, very important topic. It is basically upon how should we approach Shastra. Yes.
Can scriptures solve daily problems?
Excellent. Jai.
Just taking shower right now.
So let us all welcome Prabhuji with a loud Hari Bol right from our heart. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
Om Namo Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudhiraye
Tato Jayamudhiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Namo Pankaja Nabhaya
Namo Pankaja Namaya
Namo Pankaja Maline
नमो पङ्कजमालिने
नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय
नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय
नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रे
नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रे
ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत किल शक्तिधरा स्वधाम्ना अन्यांशः हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्रणमामो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। कथाञ्चन स्मृते यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्रीचैतन्य नमामि तम्। Hare Krishna. Very, very happy to be here at Central New Jersey. Thank you, Keshamada Prabhu, for visiting your daughters and all the children here. Giridhar, you know what's her name? Om. How can I forget Om? Yes. Om. Yeah, I just match the following. You know, when when I come to a place, my file opens and I forget and I have to add new names. Om, I remember very well. Om is a prodigy. All of you, I feel very happy to see you. Thank you. I have beautiful memories here in Central New Jersey. Thank you. Today I have a topic in mind called Can Scriptures Solve Our Daily Problems? So I need your sincere attention and open heart. With an open mind, you please listen to what I have to say. First I want to ask you, how many of you here have problems in life? Please raise your hand. आपको भी प्रॉब्लम है ओम? आपको भी प्रॉब्लम? यू आल्सो हैव प्रॉब्लम? होगा? है क्या प्रॉब्लम है आपको? Wow, thank you. Now I understand. I asked one boy in Dallas, what is your favorite food? Like I was asking different children. Somebody said pizza, pasta. This boy is saying, I don't like anything. I just like holy names. I said, so बच्चे नहीं हैं अभी. Anyway, so can life solve can Bhagavatam or scripture solve day-to-day problems? So all of you have problems? Yes. Now today we'll understand how it can solve our problems. From homework to divorce, financial problems, everything can be solved. You will say, which chapter give me? I will read. No, there is a little twist in the story. So, when you hear the word scriptures, I want to ask you honestly, what comes to your mind? Can you just say whatever you feel, that whatever feeling or words or anything that comes to your mind when you hear the word scriptures? Yes? Manual. Yes. What to do, what not to do. Yes, Om. Yeah, Krishna. When you hear the word scriptures, Krishna. For you, it's a manual. Anything else?
No, I'm saying.
Oh no, I'm asking. I thought you were
Well,
yesterday.
yes. So when I read it, it just simply wow.
Wow. Thank you. It's beautiful the sentiment you are sharing. Scriptures is wow. Stories. Anything else that comes to your mind when you hear the word scriptures? Lessons. Learnings, lessons. Beautiful. Austerity. Wow. Somebody told me sleep. I said, what do you mean? Problem, because whenever I feel sleep, when I don't get sleep, I read scriptures. So all problems can be solved. But so basically, all of you have some understanding of what is scriptures. So I'll give you an interesting perspective. There was one man called Stephen Covey. According to Times, BBC, many journals, news channels, media channels, he has been declared as the greatest management guru of the 20th century. So in 1988, he released this very famous book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And that book became so successful, then he wrote another book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families. So I recommend that book to many families when they get married. So, so this man, he changed the whole world, corporate world, thinking on success, effectiveness, happiness. The book is a revolutionary. It became a cult. It had cult following. Early 90s, when I was in college, people were like, everybody was reading it, everybody was carrying it, even in India. So I can imagine what an influence. He's from Utah, America. He's not a Hare Krishna devotee. But he said something shocking or striking in that book. So there are many things in the book, many habits. Today we are not giving a class on 7 habits. But one point is, Hare Krishna, Jai Jagannath, Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki Jai, Laddu Gopal ki Jai. That was right? Yeah. So there's one, so there are many things in the book, but he says, like he says, what is the difference between humans and animals? You know what is the difference? Similarities, you know. So he also gives his own understanding of difference and animals is we have a inner moral compass, conscience, which we call as Paramatma's voice. The Lord is in the heart also. The Lord talks to us. So he calls it as conscience. So the main message of the book is, we can be successful, effective, all the habits we can follow if that conscience is awakened. Matlab, God ka voice, we should be able to hear God's voice. That is a very important point in his book. Then comes the main point, how. In ISKCON everybody asks all the time, how. Anything you say, they'll say how. How to hear God's voice? So then he says, by reading, hearing, by studying or hearing scriptures. When I read first time, I was shocked. I said, scriptures? Is he a spiritual person? Is he Hare Krishna? No. I thought maybe he means something else by scriptures. See, word can have different meanings. Like I went to one person's house, they said they'll feed me pizza, but on the pizza they put chole, capsicum, pura Indian paneer. So their definition of pizza was something else. So everybody may have different definition of scriptures. So then I said, I want to know what he means by scriptures. It's easy to say scriptures. Then I went to the appendix, last part of the book. And there he mentions Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Amongst, of course, he will also mention Bible, Quran. But he mentions our sacred books as scriptures. So what happens if you read scriptures? Study scriptures or hear scriptures, what will happen, he says? Conscience will develop. Awakened, conscience will develop. So now I'll not go deep into what he's saying, but what the point I'm making is, even secular, intelligent, sober people understand scriptures are some or not ordinary books. There is something. Otherwise, you tell me, so many magazines are coming, newspapers are coming. They're coming, going. So many. I remember when I was a young boy, there was a very famous magazine. Kushwan Singh was the editor of that. I forget the name also now. Every week we used to get it at home. Reader Digest already chal raha hai. There's some magazine. So the name of that magazine I forget. But many magazines are there. They come, they close down. They don't. Like many books come, many philosophies come. But imagine Bhagavatam, Ramayana, abhi bhi chal raha hai. From lakhs of years, thousands of years. That means there is something in these books which is nourishing people and generations for thousands of years. They are actually scriptures. There is something special in it. I just want to know one thing. Can you hear me, Nayan? So scriptures are not ordinary books. Especially our scriptures which we have, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, these 5 books and other books also. So, these scriptures will awaken conscience. In our level, what happens? It will awaken Paramatma's voice. In the sense, we will be able to hear what the Lord wants to tell us. Now, I want to address the 2 main things. 2 main points about daily problems. Can scripture solve our problems? Okay, all of you are ready to hear this?
Yes.
Okay. So you know what the daily problems are. I don't want to get into it. You know, Prabhuji, a problem, I finance, this, that. What? Basically, when I say problems, I mean ability to make decision. All of us face choice dilemma. We have 2 choices, we don't know what to do. Whether to stay in America or go to India. What to do with children, education, all the problems are there. All the devotees have. Some problems are the other. When I was in India, for many years, I joined the ashram in 98, 99, that period. So, till 2022, first time I came to America. So I used to think, because I used to interact with American devotees in India, I used to think that devotees in America are very happy compared to devotees in India. 22, 23, 24, 25. Last 4 years has given me realization that devotees here have more comfort, but they are suffering more than the devotees in India. I have got realization, my empathy, my love has increased for devotees in America. That is why I come and spend, this year I am spending 2 months. Generally I spend 4 weeks. This year I am spending 8 weeks. Because I see the need and I see the pain. When I told last year to devotees in India that when devotees in India leave and come to America, they come with many suitcases. There is one extra suitcase they carry. And that suitcase, when they open in America, they realize that suitcase is filled with suffering. Suffering, you get suffering from India here. Everybody has suffering. So, and especially ability to make decisions. What to do, what choices to make. So how Bhagavatam helps? So you will say, Bhagavatam helps me. Okay, Prabhuji, but I have a real problem. I have to take a decision. My job is gone. My visa is expiring. Should I go to India? Should I try something else? Where is the solution? Which canto? Which chapter? No, it doesn't work like that. First, very important principle. If you want solution for your day-to-day problems, you can't open Bhagavatam and find solution, but Bhagavatam has the solution if you read Bhagavatam every day. If you spend 5 minutes to 1 hour every day with your family in studying scriptures and also hearing on YouTube or going to temple, there is a lot of details in that. How to study, that's another subject matter. But today I want to emphasize on the principle of every day giving 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes to 1 hour, sometimes 10 minutes. It's possible. On WhatsApp and Instagram only people are spending 3 hours every day. Watching cricket match, they spend so much time. People think I love cricket, but I give so much. Private talking, I shake people's faith in cricket. But I write cricket stories and all that so that to attract people. But I don't watch cricket. I don't like. But when people say when India wins, are you happy? I said yes, I become happy. Because of past conditioning. When India wins any cricket match, I become very happy. I'm being very honest with all of you. But when India loses, I become very grateful. You'll say, what is this? When India wins, I become Happy. But when India loses,
Grateful.
very grateful to Krishna. Why? Because when India wins, I become happy because I identify with the Indian cricket team. From childhood, I have been watching. I feel happy. But when India loses, I become grateful because I feel, thank you, Krishna. I did not waste 4 hours watching this match. That time I spent something else. So I feel happy. ठीक है, जीत गया खुश, हार गया तो thank you Krishna. Imagine you watch for 4 hours, so then India loses. So the point I'm saying is, we have time. That is the point I'm saying. People watch cricket, movies, Netflix. I didn't know all this. When traveling, I learned that there are devotees who are confessed with Prabhuji. I have this habit. I watch Prime, Amazon Prime, Netflix. They said all the OTT platforms, and they said, Prabhu, I saw 6 hours. I said, how can you watch 6 hours? Binge watching. They explained all the concepts. And many things I learned. Earlier in our times, one episode would come Friday evening, next Friday it will come. He said, now we can watch all 8 episodes, 10 episodes one time. I said, what is this? Anyway, so that means people have time. So can't we spend 5 minutes to 1 hour every day? And I'm telling you, Prabhu's, Mataji's, children, I love you, and I'm going, if you want, I can share techniques, I can be in touch with you, anybody, because it has changed my life. I know so many people's lives which has dramatically changed because of faithfully giving 5 minutes to 1 hour every day. We can have a whole separate class on how to do it, but today that's not the point. First you understand the seriousness. I'm not talking about scriptures will not solve your problem if you open the book when you have a problem. But scriptures will solve the problem. It will solve the problem when you open the book, when you have a problem, if you have always been reading scriptures. Culture of scriptures, not technique of scriptures. It's not a pill that you swallow and problem is solved. It is a culture, daily practice. Bhavanam tukupa kananam pratyudhumaki drusha. Chanakya Pandit says, what is the use of digging a well when the house is on fire? When should you dig the well?
Before.
When you are constructing the house. Not when the house, house mein aag lag gaya. Fire in the house, let us start digging well. No, it will not help. So culture of scripture. So if you have culture of scripture, let us say you already have culture. Let us say you are now willing to commit. Let us say now after this program you are saying, okay Prabhuji, now we will every day read 10 minutes. And scriptures, Bhagavatam, whatever, Bhagavad Gita nicely. Today in the plane, I was reading Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter 1 to 20. And I was reading purport and I was like, it felt as if I never read this. After 28 years of teaching and studying Bhagavad Gita, today I got a completely different insight. And I was just fascinated. And again reading, again fascinated. Whole 2 and 3 hours. Only 3 hours I only read 18.1 to 18.20. And I was like, Baap re, aisa hai. So that is something magical. So if we read every day, culture is there, then I'll tell you how it solves your daily problems. Okay? So you are willing to commit, so I'll tell you how it will solve. It will solve how? Remember what Stephen Covey said? Conscience is awakened. Conscience means God's voice. What God wants you to do in this situation, you will understand if you read scriptures daily. And that will make you peaceful, although there will be pain. See, material world, any decision you take, there will be pain. Don't think scriptures will give me happiness. Scriptures will not give you happiness. Scriptures will help you do the right thing. And in material world, doing the right things doesn't guarantee happiness. If you are a happiness addict, then you please continue to watch YouTube reels, and because that will give you kick, what you want, stimulation. Human life is not meant for happiness. Human life is meant for a very special purpose. Of course, when we read scriptures, we experience something more than what we think is happiness. We experience love. What is more deeper, happiness or love?
Love.
When you are happy, can there be love? Is there a guarantee that there is love when you are happy? When there is love,
always happy.
But there is more than happiness. There will be many other things along with happiness. Right? How many of you are mothers here? Please raise your hand. Fathers? Parents? Okay, so many parents are here. Do you love your child? What a stupid question, Prabhuji. How can you ask? I am a parent, I love my child. Okay, first question was stupid. Second question, not stupid. Second question is, you love your child, you are saying. Are you always happy with your child? Now is the main. What are the different emotions you experience with your child? Irritated. Okay, but thank you. Whenever I ask, every person wants to say 100 things. Irritation is one. Anything else? Anybody wants to say? Angry. Happy तो है ही. Happiness तो होएगा ही ना. बच्चा है आपका तो. Happiness, along with happiness, angry, irritation. Wait. Disappointment. Frustration, disappointment, angry, irritation, concern, anxiety. Not anxiety. ये सब हो रहा है ना? Also happiness. So we love Krishna, but we are happy also. But there is something. Though there is love, much deeper. So culture of scriptures, how it will solve your day-to-day problems is, first of all, it will help you understand and accept the suffering of this world. And then when you take a choice, when you make a decision, you will not make a decision because of being influenced by happiness. You will make a decision because of being influenced by what is the right thing to do. And that will make your life peaceful. Please understand this. When we don't have scriptures, we take decisions controlled by the modes. मुझे क्या अच्छा लगेगा, what I will like. This is one way. Secondly, scriptures, what it does is, because the conscience is awakened, you understand what to do in that situation in a very unique way. I give an example. My cousin, he is one of my very relatives, he got into the Indian Military Academy, which is in Missouri, I think. So in that military academy, they teach you all the different wars, history, the battles, battle of the American Civil War, Second World War, Battle of Plassey, all that, Battle of Waterloo, Operation Barbarossa. All these battles are taught, the 3-year course, and they have exams also. So they know all the famous wars in history. Okay? And then they trained as, of course they do practical also, then they become Special Protection Group Commandos, NSA, National Security Guard, NSG Commandos, they have gone there. So then the terrorists attacked Mumbai in 2008, Taj Mahal Hotel and Oberoi Hotel and all of that. Famous or infamous, tragic event. So that time these commandos entered the hotel to kill the terrorists. So when they entered, did they open the textbook and say, Acha, which answer to apply now? Which of the, see there are so many wars they studied. And in all the wars, different strategies are discussed. So now, which one should we apply here? No. Based on what they studied, their conscience had evolved. So in that situation, they understood what is the perfect, because of the evolved intelligence, they knew how to come out with a unique solution for that problem based on what they studied for so long. And that solution which they applied there will be part of future textbooks. Maharaj story. You read so many times. Ambarish Maharaj. Today morning I was hearing Bhagavatam class in Chicago. Chitta Shakti Mataji was giving on Ambarish Maharaj story. Now Ambarish Maharaj story I have heard 100 times before coming to ISKCON. 100 is a big number. You understood what I mean is, I've been hearing it so many times. Ambarish Maharaj story from school. I've seen drama also in my village town where I was growing up. Ambarish Maharaj story everybody knew. And today morning, after so many years of consciousness, this Mataji spoke the same story which I have heard so many times. But the whole perspective was different. So when we hear same Dhruva, same Prahlad story, same verses, then that is like studying the battles, studying the wars. All of you are in battle. All of you are fighting a battle. Kala karma guna dino. So, kala karma and guna, these three are attacking us. Punaradhyagamat Prabhu, Sutta Goswami says, you become stable and sober when you read scriptures. So when you are fighting all these battles, but you are reading scriptures every day, means you are studying all the battles, how pure devotees dealt with different situations. Then when you have to make a choice, you know how to apply it. How? Because your conscience has evolved, your intelligence has evolved. You are in a situation where you know and you are able to take the right decision, just like the warriors are able to take the right decision during the war. So this is the way your day-to-day practical problems can be solved if you study scriptures. But the scriptures solve something deeper. They solve a problem which is much, much bigger. Now, what you're going to hear in the next 2 minutes, 5 minutes is something I really, really want you to be open about this. It is pure arrogance to think that I know what is my problem and I want solution for that problem. Many people come to ISKCON thinking, Prabhuji, I have this problem. Can ISKCON solve this? Can Bhagavatam solve this problem? I tell them, sorry. Bhagavatam, I just challenge them. I tell them, Bhagavatam will not solve that problem, but Bhagavatam will tell you what is your problem. Huh? I know the problem, Prabhuji. I know. No, that is not your problem. Okay. Anybody chanting Hare Krishna Japa here every day? Wow, very good. Are you every day chanting attentively and you are looking forward to chanting and excited? You get bored in chanting? Thank you for being honest. Sometimes you chant nicely, but sometimes you feel like not chanting. You know why that happens? Because you don't know what is your problem. If you know what is your problem, you will chant very attentively. One person had cancer, lower back pain and all that. His family did not tell him he has cancer. They gave him medicines because of the pain. You know what he thought? He thought last year I had cold, cough, and this year I have back pain. So what he did, like we chant, he took his medicines. One day he took, one day he did not take. Like we chant one day we don't chant. We are not so serious. He was saying, "Arey chhod do yaar, theek ho jayega." So his family saw that he is not serious. So what they told him one day, Prabhu, you have a problem. He said, yeah, lower back pain. He said, no, we have a serious problem. So we also come like that. I have problem, job problem, children problem, office problem. Bhagavatam class you come, the speaker will say, no, that is not the problem. Not lower back. Something serious. What is that? Cancer. What is the cancer here? You have the problem of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshana Darshanam. Birth, death, old age and disease. This is your problem. So when a person realizes, oh, in olden times, people would realize, acha, this is my problem. Birth, death, old age, disease. Okay, what should I do? Take this medicine of chanting. Okay, I start Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then they had no problem because they would take shelter of. But our situation is we don't know. We think my office problem is problem. But I'll tell you, once I gave this class, this example, one devotee said, Prabhuji, but I know birth, death, old age, disease is problem. I know. I've been coming to Bhagavatam class for last 6 years. But still I don't feel like taking the medicine of holy name. Now listen very, very carefully, very carefully. This person is saying that I am coming every day to Bhagavatam class, but I know also, not every day, I know our problem is birth, death, old age, disease. And I said, do you come every day for class? No, I know birth, death, old age, I heard so many times in 6 years. But still I am not chanting attentively. So then I told him, you don't know what is birth, death, old age, disease. You are like that tribal villager in India who has cancer and is not taking his medicines even when his family told him he has cancer because he doesn't know what is cancer. He thinks there is typhoid, there is cough, there is malaria and there is cancer. So before telling him what he has cancer, what he has to be told? what is cancer? And when he hears, oh, this is cancer, this is what happens. Even when you take painkillers during cancer, you will be screaming in pain so much that it can be heard 3 blocks away. Oh, अच्छा इतना दर्द होता है cancer. Then he understands what is cancer. Then when he is told you have cancer, oh, then you take medicine. So, if despite knowing that we have birth, death, old age disease, we are not chanting, that means we don't know what is birth, death, old age disease. How will we know what is birth, death, old age disease? How will that person know what is cancer? When he hears. Similarly, how will we know what is birth, death, old age disease? When we study scriptures. And then a time will come, you will suddenly realize, oh, that moment will come, seriousness will come. And then you will work on solving the real problem. It is pure arrogance to think I know what is the problem. If you want to know how to solve your problems, how to get job, there is one very, very famous Babaji who will answer all your problems. He is called Google Baba. And he has got a new avatar, Chat GPT. But you ask Chat GPT how to solve problem, he will tell you. But you first go to Chat GPT and say, Dear Babaji, Google Baba, Chat GPT, tell me what is my problem. That he cannot tell you. That we will tell you. His God will tell you. Not we, in the sense I mean Bhagavatam will tell you. So this is a very important point. First of all, our day-to-day problems can be solved by Bhagavatam. How? How can our day-to-day problems be solved by Bhagavatam? By? No, there are 2 points I am mentioning today. How will Bhagavatam solve our day-to-day problems? By?
Awakening our consciousness.
It by one person. By reading it. What or is it? Yeah. How will the conscience be awakened? Culture. I was looking for that word. Not one of reading. Thank you. Not Bhagavad Saptah. People do Bhagavad Saptah in India for 7 days. After that, no study of Bhagavad. And those 7 days they do cultural event, dancing. क्या होता है? It's a big event, but after that nobody studies Bhagavad. It's a social event. It's not a but still day-to-day problems can be solved. Now, more important than day-to-day solved problems, it solves the real problem. How does it solve the real problem? By revealing to us what is the problem, and then revealing to us that we have that problem, and then giving us the solution for that problem. If you are feeling that you are not chanting attentively, you are feeling that you are not serious in bhakti after many years, that means you are not understood that what is the problem. So to summarize what I have discussed so far, first I began by asking you what comes to your mind when you hear the word scripture. You say different things. Then I spoke about Stephen Covey, who says scriptures will awaken the conscience. Then I spoke about the 2 things the scriptures does. Solves day-to-day problems and also solves the real problems. It solves the day-to-day problems. For that I gave an example. What example?
The soldier.
Soldiers,
Yes.
they learn in military academy. Similarly, if we read every day, we will learn what to do in that situation. And how does scripture solve our permanent real problems? By showing us what actually is the problem. How birth, death, old age disease is a problem. And then we understand we have that. And then we understand that we have to take the medicine. So this is the way scriptures help us. I want you to chant a few verses with me. I'll say, please repeat after me. Shrinvatam Sakata Krishna
Shrunvatam Sakata Krishna
Punya Shravana Kirtana
Punya Shravana Kirtana
Hridayantastoy Abhadrani
Hridayantasto Abhadrani
Vidunoti Suhursata
Vidunoti Suvatsara.
Shrinvatam Sakata. When we hear about Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, this is most auspicious. Lot of abhadra, lot of unwanted things in the heart, because of which we are not able to take clear decisions. Vidunoti, Suhursatam, it will go away and our relationship with our real friend, Krishna, will awaken. Hare Krishna, Devakinandan Prabhu ki jai. See, Arjuna, at one time of his life, was the greatest warrior, but when he went to Dwarka, he could not protect Krishna's queens. And he came back, he was defeated by ordinary men. Ordinary cowherd men defeated him in battle. He had Gandiva, who was a great warrior. He comes back and is depressed, and Krishna has left this world and is worried. And Adhishthir Maharaj looks at Arjuna, is very sad. And that time, how did Arjuna come back to his senses? The Bhagavatam explains. You can repeat this verse. I also don't know if I'll remember it, but I'll try. Deshakalartha-yuktani Rittapo-pashamani cha Haranti smaratas-chittam Govinda bihitani me. We will all be in different desha. Desha kalartha yuktani. See, our time, place, circumstances will change. But wherever we go, rit, tapa, heart mein tap rahega. But upashamani cha, we want it to be pacified. Haranti smaratas chittam, that will happen when our consciousness, if it is fixed on Govinda bihitani me. Hare Krishna. आज एक मिनट रुको. आज बड़ा महागारंट आ गया. Exchange scheme. Where was I? Govinda bhitani me. Govinda. So when Arjuna started fixing his consciousness on Krishna's words, means Bhagavad Gita, which he heard, then he became peaceful. So then the next verse says, so if you keep reading scriptures like this, and so pacification ho jayega. And then what will happen? Then something very beautiful will happen. If you keep reading scriptures every day. The next verse says, again repeat please. Evam chintayato jishno Krishna pada saroruham. I forgot the next line. Evam chintayato jishno Krishna pada saroruham saurdenati gadena Shanta Sid Vimalamati. So Arjuna's consciousness was attracted by Krishna because he had meditating on what he had been reading Bhagavad Gita, what he had heard Bhagavad Gita. So then he started meditating on that. Because of that, Evam Chintayato, because of that meditation, his consciousness then went from the instructions from Radha. Then it went to Krishna Pada Saroruham, Krishna's lotus feet. But Krishna's lotus feet is very special. Saroruham means which are lotus. So what happens? This lotus opens, blooms. So Krishna's lotus feet, remembrance in the heart started blossoming. Means his whole consciousness was getting filled with Krishna. And then Gadena, Saurdenati Gadena, his friendship with Krishna became more intense than when he was alive. When Krishna was present. Sorry, not Krishna is always alive. When Krishna was present, compared to that, now his friendship became more intense. Saurdenati Gadena, Shanta, he became Shanta, Vimalamati. In the consciousness, he became Vimala. Means all the contamination, if it was there, everything went away. Amazing. The next verse is even more beautiful, which I am unable to recall, which actually says that two things happened. Bhaktya nirmati shashesha kashaya dishanorjuna. I don't know how it begins. Two things rapidly happened in his life. First, devotional attachment to Krishna increased rapidly, and if there was any contamination, that rapidly went away. And then finally, after hearing all this, somebody will say, after hearing all these verses, somebody will say, I got this doubt actually. Arjuna was lucky, he directly heard Bhagavad Gita. Krishna was there with him, that is why it is not difficult for him. So Sutta Goswami understands we are Kali Yuga rascals, we will have some excuse to not believe. So his last verse is very beautiful. You know what he says? He says, you are in the same situation like Arjuna. Because you also have Krishna. And what does he say? Please repeat. Let's see, I'll try the first line, at least yaad hai. Geetam Bhagavatam Jnanam
गीतं भागवतं ज्ञानं
Tattat Sangrama Murdani
तत्तत्सङ्ग्राममूर्धनि
Kala Karma Tamoruddham
कालकर्मतमोवृत्तं
Punar Adhyagamat Prabhu.
पुनरभ्यागमत्प्रभु
So he's saying, Sutta Goswami is saying, you also have Krishna. Like Arjuna had. How you have? Geetam Bhagavatam Jnanam. Gita है ना आपके पास? और भागवत है ना? तो कृष्णा है. And Arjuna was fighting. Tattat Sangrama Murdani. आप भी संग्राम कर रहे हो. So all of you are on the battlefield. Everybody says yes. Everybody agrees. We are all on the battlefield like Arjuna. Arjuna had Krishna. We have Gita and Bhagavatam. What will happen now? So Arjuna was fighting against whom? Kauravas, Shamshaktakas, Trigartas, all the different armies in the battlefield. Arjuna was fighting. We are also fighting in the battlefield with three enemies. Geetam Bhagavatam Jnanam Tattat Sangrama Murdani Kala Karma Tamo Ruddham Kal. We are fighting time. We are all getting old. Anybody are getting younger? Kala Karma. Karma. We all have performed activities. The reactions are coming. And Tamo, darkness, ignorance. We are all fighting against. So these three are our enemies. We are fighting against this. But we have Gita Bhagavatam. Then what will happen? Punar Adhyagamat Prabhu. Again you will become Prabhu. Right now we are Kodas. We are controlled by the senses. But scriptures, hearing Krishna will make us again master of our senses. That's how Arjuna became equipoised. So this we can go on and on and on. I would just like to end with this. Srila Prabhupada said in one letter to Bhagavad Ananda, July 8, 1972, he said, just read scriptures every day for some time, then two things will happen. All the problems created by your mental conceptions will go away and you will see Krishna face to face. Actually he writes that letter. I'm sure you'll get it on the Veda base. You know, maybe sometime you can share if you get that. Exact words I don't remember, but I remember I was struck when I read this. If you read scriptures, study scriptures regularly, two things will happen. What is the first thing? The problems caused by our mental conceptions will go away. And second, face to face. Just like I'm seeing Vishaka, Om, all of you I'm seeing. You are seeing him. You'll see Krishna like this. So therefore, don't underestimate the power of studying scriptures. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Now we can have some corrections, questions, comments. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Anybody has any questions? No, please go ahead.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु। So
वो मैं ज़्यादा अच्छा लग रहा है मुझे। शेयर करेंगे।
was that?
हरे कृष्ण वसी हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
this is how material life is. The grass is always greener on the other side.
I was
कितना भी मिलेगा ना, अरे वो नहीं मिला, ये नहीं मिला. It's a live demonstration हो गया अभी.
This is actually setting the context for my question.
Wow,
so
very good.
my question is about this, exactly this same point of instant gratification. You know, today we are actually in the world of instant gratification. Everything is, you know, that is another problem in addition to whatever the problems what we discussed. So what is your advice and what is your take on, like, you know, the today's world of feeling good immediately, exactly what you mentioned, like, you know, feeling good for a moment and then again going down in the next moment. So if you can just add something on that.
Yeah. What has happened is we are a generation which is addicted to happiness. 50 to 75 years before, till 1960s, all the success literature, they never spoke about happiness. They spoke about living for the community, living for a purpose. But last 50 years, happiness has become the buzzword. Everybody thinks I have to be happy. And if I'm not happy, there is something wrong. This is the disease, modern disease. I remember once I was in the terrace, I was relaxing. Somebody came and said, Prabhuji, important meeting, a management meeting. Can you come? It has been emergency meeting that we have to have today only. I said, no, we were scheduled to have it day after tomorrow. I can only come day after tomorrow. He said, no, Prabhuji, we want to prepone it because it's important. I said, whatever it is, I'll come only day after tomorrow. He said, but what is the problem? Why can't you come now? You are free, no? You are just relaxing here. I said, yes, I'm relaxing, but I'm sad because of something that happened. So I'm not in a good space. So I'm very sad now. I'm not happy. This is what I said. So the secretary of the group, the committee, is very young devotee. He just joined. And I've been in the ashram since 28 years now. So he looked at me and said, Prabhuji, you are also sad. I thought you are always happy. I said, did I say I'm also sad, but did I say I'm always sad? There's a difference. I'm sad is different than I'm always sad. I said, I'm sad. But Prabhuji, what happened? You need help? I should do something. I said, relax. I'm very sad, but I'll be okay tomorrow. We are scared of accepting our emotions. We think something is wrong. Psychology, we should see a psychologist if I'm sad. And that is why we are not taught how to embrace pain. See, you cannot be happy in life if you don't learn how to embrace pain. Nobody teaches us how to embrace. They always teach us how to avoid pain. जहर मरने के लिए थोड़ा सा, पर जिंदा रहने के लिए बहुत पीना पड़ता है. So we are not taught how to drink zahar. We are told how to avoid. अरे but जिंदगी आपको जहर देगा ही. So, okay, first point is we are happiness addict generation. Okay, so my take on this is because of that disease, even when we come to Bhagavatam class, now this you may not like to hear, very very kadwa such hai. We want entertainment in Bhagavatam classes. We want speakers who will give intoxicating feeling. But hard truths, if it is presented in the class, we don't like it. 7th canto, 9th chapter, if I give class, you will get depressed. There Prahlad Maharaj is describing the psychology of household life. Katham priyaya anukam pitaya. श्लोका सुनने में मजा आता है मीटर में. But जो truth उसके अंदर है कि you are attached, you are in the blind well of sense gratification. We like platitudes, we like euphemisms. We want stimulation. So I'm not blaming the devotees. I'm also a victim of that. We want entertainment in the classes. We don't want nourishment from the classes. So therefore, I've got a few suggestions on what we could do in this age of stimulation and instant gratification to get best benefit from scriptures. These 2 points which I'm going to share are controversial, but they're very effective. And many managers will not advocate this, but I strongly advocate this. In fact, we had a debate in Chicago yesterday, and I prevented this, and everybody loved it, and it was successfully accepted by everyone. So these 2 principles are: first, if you are a grahastha, first is you should discuss Bhagavatam with your spouse or your family every day for 5 minutes to 1 hour. We don't want to hear from our family members. We want to go to temple and hear. Because I don't get along with family members, so I can't hear Bhagavatam from each other. Better hear from a pure devotee. So then what happens is, then our friction at home increases, and temple is also happy many times, because you are not happy at home means you will do more seva in temple. And then when you do more seva in temple, your friction, your differences between your family increases, widens. So you may have few devotees doing lot of seva in temple, but their family life will be destroyed. But if we focus on studying Bhagavatam at home, studying scriptures, hearing from each other, then our relationship with our spouse will become spiritual. Then you may do less seva in temple, but you will be happy, and in that happiness you will contribute very meaningfully to temple. So we will have more devotees doing less, each one of them doing less seva, but we will have more devotees. But if few devotees are doing lot of seva, they will be frustrated and temple will also eventually collapse. So better to have many devotees, each one of them doing little seva. So first principle is घर पे भागवतम पढ़ना चाहिए, discuss करना चाहिए, क्योंकि even if you love your family, even if you love your wife, wife loves you very much, you will face separation from each other eventually. Attachment brings suffering. You don't need Bhagavatam to tell you that. Everybody who is attached knows that attachment brings suffering. Attachment is equal to suffering. And Bhagavatam will give you solace, shelter, peace. Because suffering you cannot avoid. Bhagavatam will give you shelter. So please first make a rule every day. Initially it will be uncomfortable. Because every day you are fighting with your spouse. How can I sit and hear Bhagavatam from him or her? So begin small, or at least chant together. Even the day you have fight, don't give class to each other. Play some class and basically spend together some time with your family. And when you do that, your children see that, then they also pick up. You don't have to force children to do that. At least you do that. This is the first. Second most important principle is learn some semi-spiritual activities. See, there is spiritual activity, which deity worship, Bhagavatam, all that. There is material activities like smartphone, Netflix. In between there is something called as semi-spiritual. It is not spiritual, but it helps us to connect with spirituality. And that is breathing, relaxation. Conscious relaxation we don't learn. So that's why we want Netflix, because we think it will relax me. It doesn't relax. It keeps your mind at the Vikshipta stage. You are intensely focused on the screen. So the mind is not peaceful. The mind has to come to Ekagrita stage. If you want to practice spiritual life, the mind has to be, according to Patanjali Muni's Yoga Sutras, the mind is at one of these 5 stages. Generally it is at Kshipta and Vikshipta, which is constantly restless or disturbed. So therefore, if you have to come to the peaceful stage, if you have to be peaceful, we have to make our mind peaceful. And the mind is not peaceful if you are watching videos all the time. So you need to, but your need is genuine, you want to relax because you are stressed so much. So then learn conscious relaxation. Conscious relaxation means, we think relaxation means sleep. No, when you are awake also you should learn to relax. Sit in the nature, go for a walk. Breathing, I do breathing activities every day. Yeah, see, I carry. Today I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 breathing breaks. Every day I take at least 5 to 8 breathing breaks in a day. So I keep the watch and I close my eyes. Count of 4 breaths. Inhale, then hold for 4 seconds and exhale for 4. Sanatana Goswami explains this in great detail in Haribhakti Vilas. That before japa, before Bhagavatam, he says you should breathe, pranayam. So breathing is one way of, it's a semi-spiritual activity. It's not Krishna conscious, but it calms your mind and it removes that itch to watch smartphone, because smartphone is instantly rajasic, it pulls you. But breathing slows down your mind. Journaling is even better. And then prayers, standing in front of the deities and offering prayers articulately. I call it BJP method of semi-spirituality. Breathing, journaling and praying. BJP can save your life. No political... There is no politics here. Because it is America, I can say this. In India, they get offended. So 2 things, semi-spiritual activities and family, centering the family life on Bhagavad scriptures. Otherwise, our approach to temple will be like escape from, it's called spiritual escapism in psychology. Escaping from real issues by going to temple. And then family life goes down further. So some stability is needed. So these are the 2 things I would suggest. Is that okay? Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for a very practical class actually. We were discussing about, we were sharing about parenting. And one of the major issues that I guess most of the parents face is the screen time with the children. Obviously you can control the screen time for your child. However, it's hypocritic in a way where you tell them no screen time and you put them to sleep, make them do things. But at the end of the day, you also need to have some screen time. And I heard you just shared the strategy of like BJP, and I think it's very grounding. It would help. But there are a lot of things on the social media which also like getting updates about the temple programs or the programs happening here and there. So how do we balance that? When I think about detoxing, I can completely get out of social media for a month or so, and then but you get in the zone of fear of missing out, like, oh my god, what did I not see? And then your mind is restless. So how do we balance that? Because knowing things is also important, and nowadays a lot of spiritual content is also there. So how do we balance that?
You said, if you detox for a month, this is where the problem is. Do you think detox means for a long period of time? No. You can keep your smartphone off or without internet connection for 1 hour a day, then 2 hours. You can start small. You don't have to think that you have to do something big. See the difference it makes to your consciousness when you keep it, and you actually switch off the phone, when you know that the notifications have come. For the, sometimes our children's things also, school things also come to the parents on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So you make a, when what is the time it comes. You have to understand, or you have to create alternate systems. Like, I don't know how it can be done, but at least you need to have some time in a day where the phone is actually off or the internet is off. It could be 3 hours, 4 hours. I have one of the parameters I check in my sadhana card, which I tick box, every night before school. How many hours did I keep my phone off? So I can afford, because I'm a brahmachari, I don't have a family, I don't have responsibilities like you have. So 6 hours may not be feasible for you. But at least 1 hour, 2 hours. Actually, when you switch off the phone, you will feel liberated, you will feel freedom. You will experience it. Switch off karke dekho ek baar. And then you try breathing, journaling, praying. And then you will see. So I agree, it's a real problem nowadays. It's a need also. But if you switch off the phone for 1 hour, 2 hours, then you'll experience the freedom in that space. Then you'll get taste. And then eventually you'll reach a stage where, in the school you can tell them, email me or whatever. Basically there are many ways of working out systems. I'm sure there are ways of avoiding Instagram. I am not on Instagram. I'm not on any of the social media except WhatsApp. And also one, I don't know, for your children, I don't know, but at least you can. There is a whole group on the internet. You'll find there is a YouTube, TED Talks are there. There is a group which is against social media, and they are living a life without social media, and they're still effective, successful. They become millionaires. So you see, I'm telling you, if you want to do research, if you have a desire, you will get a lot of solutions. So I understand the challenge, but we have to help each other actually. We have to get a taste in Bhagavatam, or actually forget Bhagavatam, even the small semi-spiritual activities, if you start liking, today, I've been having hectic schedules, last 5 days is youth retreat, madness. But still today morning I went for a 90-minute fast walk. Because walking opens my mind, my creative juices flow, my mind wanders, I feel relaxed. So I walked for 90 minutes, although I had such a hectic schedule. And tomorrow I know what I'll do. Tomorrow I'll write journals. So sometimes I don't write much, but every day I write at least for half an hour every day. So again I'm telling you again and again, I'm a brahmachari, I can afford this. You have children, anxiety is always there. So you may not be able to do all of this, but at least few minutes. Okay, before everybody wakes up at home, you can get up a little early, half an hour earlier, and do breathing, journaling. See, this is breathing, journaling, prayer is my method. You can discover your own thing. For somebody it could be making garland. I know one brahmachari. Now generally, gender, if you see, women, there are some things which are very gender specific. Like, garland, making garlands and knitting is a very much a feminine activity. But this brahmachari loves to make garlands and loves to knit sweaters. So in our temple, there's a corner, like all the Matajis are making garlands for the deities. You'll go to one corner, make one garland, then you'll feel relieved. And then he'll go and do his other things in that day. So that is his semi-spiritual, not it's actually direct spiritual, he's making for Krishna. But you have to discover what, like for me, memorizing verses is my, like, that book. I have a book with me on my table there. Last 8 years, it is filled with verses. I keep reading them. And I forget also. Forgetting is okay. Again read, again chant. Today I chanted some verses when I was traveling in the plane. And I was looking at it from different angles. Then I had memorized it last year, this year I forgot. That's not the point. The point is what nourishes you. What gives you shelter? What makes you peaceful? So for me, verses, breathing, walking, journaling. So you discover, make a basket of activities that give you that shelter. That will include some semi-spiritual activities. It will include some directly spiritual activities. Then you will have less craving for all this stimulation, social media, Netflix. Otherwise, because you're not learning how to consciously relax, you will need these things. I did one seminar, Art of Relaxation, for one community in the West. For the leaders of the community, 20 leaders came. They are managing a group of 5,000 congregations, a very big community. 20 leaders. I could see none of them, they all were disturbed by the topic. Art of relaxation. So one Prabhuji one of the very big leaders in their community could not take it. Finally raised his hand. He said, Prabhuji, this relaxation topic you are doing, but our devotees will then only eat pizza, take gulab jamun and go to sleep. Who will run the temple? So I said, Prabhuji, did I say you should relax whole day? No. What did I say? You said relax. You said so much about relaxation. I said, yeah, but did I say you should relax whole day? I said, relax for some time. Even if not every day, once in 3 days. So, you have to discover, one thing you could try, you could keep the phone with you, and then, because you can't avoid it, then you go out somewhere, look at the trees, just relax, be present. Just be mindful, receive Krishna's presence. Like, when I was a young boy, I grew up in a village with my grandparents, first 10 years. So, this was a daily entertainment, evening, like we watch movies. So, we watch Netflix, YouTube. That time, what was the entertainment? Village mein. Long, big paddy fields everywhere. So, my grandmother and my grandfather, at the right time, they would walk. Take me, I'm a small boy, Om's age. I would hold my grandfather's hand and grandmom's hand and we would walk to the fields. And then at some point of time, we would sit somewhere. Silence. The grandmother, they would be looking at the vast expanse fields, looking at the sky, looking at the trees. That's all. And I would be looking at them like this. And I would be sitting. They would look at each other. And then they would understand that now we have to go back. They would go back. This is such a simple thing and so effective, but we have lost that art. We think, wasting time, should be doing something. Relaxation is a swear word. Doing. You can't be lazy. So then what happens? Because you're not relaxed, then you take Netflix. So we need to learn receiving presence, being like that. Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Thank you so much for the insight. Thank you so much for the insightful class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. My question is a little spin-off of the Prabhuji's question about instant gratification. Now we hear it, we know we want it, we know we will get solutions from Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll learn all the techniques and we'll get somewhere along the way, we'll get the mindset, will be reset, and we'll know what to do, how to handle things in future. But that is yet to come. So how do we manage from here to there till then. How to be patient is basically.
Why do you want to be patient?
Patient not to read Srimad Bhagavatam, but patient to, like, I will get there eventually.
Why do you want to develop patience?
I feel like I am impatient.
Huh?
I feel like I am impatient.
Why do you want to develop?
To enjoy what is there, what is happening now, how to enjoy that journey.
So why do you want to enjoy that journey?
I think it is a wow journey. So yes, I want to enjoy it. It's like an ice cream. If I don't like ice cream, but if I want to eat an ice cream, I think it would be better enjoyed if I'm eating it slowly and relishing it every single
So basically,
bite.
okay, now I come to the main point. Why do you want to relish spiritual life?
It gives you something that we all are hankering for, and it is beyond happiness.
And why do you want that?
Because that's an
Wait, no, I'm asking her. Please don't mind, huh? I'm with you. I'm just asking you because I'm trying to get to one point. I want to share one point. But I want you to say, why do you want that spiritual happiness? Why not just continue what you're doing in life?
It's frustrating eventually, if not immediately. The material life is quite. It can give happiness.
You know what you are doing in the last 2 minutes? You know what I have done? I kept asking you why. Did you notice?
Yes.
I kept asking you why many times. So now I request you, whenever you get these how questions, no? Because it's a loop. Because any answer you give on how, then you get another how. So whenever you get a how question, first you ask why. At least 5 times. So then it goes deep in the answers. And then when answers go, because when you ask why, and the answer goes deep, then the how will automatically you will discover. Somebody asked me, Prabhu, because I lost 15 kgs of weight last 2 years ago. I did something. So someone devotee came and said, Prabhuji, I want to lose weight, how to lose weight? I said, why do you want to lose weight? I asked him, why do you want to lose weight? He said, because I want to be healthy. Then I asked him, why do you want to be healthy? He said, so that I can serve better. I said, why do you want to serve better? He said, because I want to perfect my human form of life. And so Prabhupada said, why do you want to perfect your human form of life? And I kept thinking. I said, no, think. Because Prabhupada said that we should perfect our life. I said, why do you believe Prabhupada? So I had to compare him to, so what happens, if he really goes deep, 5 times at least if you ask, why, then you know why you want to lose weight, then how will automatically come. Because if I tell him go for jogging and if he is langda, if he is lame, he cannot run. How will be different for different people? So we don't want to answer difficult questions, Prabhu. I'm telling you, many of us, we don't want to do difficult work. We prefer to ask how, because when we ask how, the burden of the answer lies with the speaker. Why, the burden is on me. Ask why. I know we want to, that's why I'm telling you, many of us come to satsang for entertainment, relaxation, peace, happiness. But spiritual life is supposed to disturb you. Spiritual talks are supposed to shake you. And spiritual talks are supposed to make you answer the question, why? But our speakers generally in ISKCON, we say some nice slokas, jokes, make you feel good experience. It's actually not a feel good experience. It's a painful surgery. Why? How? If you ask how, then what happens, we are waiting for the speaker to give answer. And also, the message you are sending is, I am ready to surrender, I am ready to do everything, I just need some more clarity. And then I will once I know this, then I will be able to do bhakti better. See, somewhere you are thinking, if I know the answer to this how, then I will be able to do bhakti better, right? But you know what is the trick in Krishna consciousness? One of the biggest misconceptions is, clarity and understanding will help me do better devotional service. Sorry. You do some surrender first, then you will get clarity.
It's the other way around. Take some action first, then you will get clarity. Always, like there are two people who ask a lot of questions in Bhagavatam. Dhritarashtra was always asking how to improve my son. So his question of how was not because of sincerity or curiosity, it was out of attachment. So when we have a lot of attachments, we ask how as a means to escape surrender. Take some step. There's another person who asked a lot of questions in Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj. So are you Parikshit Maharaj or are you Dhritarashtra? Parikshit Maharaj asked how, but he first surrendered. He left everything, went to bank of Ganga, and then he asked. Then answers made sense. So see, I'm not demeaning your question, Mataji. Don't misunderstand me. Just that you have to sometimes how can make us in a trap. I used to do this program in Mumbai for many years, and I said about holy name. Somebody said how to chant holy name in the next class. Because my class is to begin with questions, and then after first half an hour of question answer, then the class would begin because people would come late. So then holy name I gave class. Next week first question was, Prabhuji, how to chant holy name? So I spoke about attentive listening, and then I gave the class on Chaitanya Charitamrita classes are going on. Next week, probably last week we said about chanting attentively and all that, posture, pronunciation, all that. But probably we can't do that because our lives are very busy. I said, okay, what you do then? You start doing some Sattva-guna practices. I spoke about Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. And next week, probably how to practice Sattva-guna. So I said you start doing breathing, journaling. So next week, probably breathing ke liye time hi nahi hai. Conscious breathing, because I have to run and they get up at 2:30 in the morning. I have to go my day shift, night shift, all that. I can't do breathing. I said, okay, you start writing some journals on the phone. You are anyway using the phone, you start writing on the phone. So then next week, probably how to manage that, because when we start doing on the phone, so many notifications come, so many things happen. Then if I forget all that, just Kali Yuga, Dharma is Harinam Sankirtan. So I spoke about the glories of holy name. And next week somebody asked, probably how to take shelter of holy name. So then I said, posture, pronunciation, all that.
Circle.
The next week somebody said, probably how to chant, mind is running, I said to Sattva-guna practices. And then when I said Sattva-guna, I suddenly realized, ये तो पूरा cycle है. How. So sometimes mind cheats us by putting us in comfort zone by asking how. So take some step, some action. Do something positive, like, put on your shoe and go for a walk. When you get too many questions, do something that breaks the cycle of mind cheating us and making us like Dhritarashtra. So instead of how, ask why. Why am I doing? But you should know, not always ask why. Sometimes why I'm suffering, why my karma is like this, why my family is like this. No, that time you should not ask why. That time you should ask what. What should I do now to improve my situation? What can I do now to make myself peaceful? What can I do immediately? What? Sometimes you should ask what, sometimes why, and sometimes how. Always you're asking how, that is a problem. Now you'll ask, Prabhuji, but how to know when to ask which question? That I don't know. So I didn't mean to demean anyone. I'm just saying my own struggle. See, I have gone through that struggle. I caught myself asking how questions so many times. I realized I'm not getting any solution because there is something wrong. If you spend 6 months in ISKCON, you will get answers to all questions. And still we are asking how means because we are not asked why. And Prabhuji's, Mataji's, don't misunderstand. Krishna consciousness is a little tough. Prabhupada in one conversation says, if I tell you how difficult it is to get Krishna, how much tears you have to shed to get Krishna, if I tell you, you will run away. पेन को एम्ब्रेस करना होगा, थोड़ा तो सरेंडर करना होगा. So I want to end now, because it's nearing 9, but I want to end with one verse. I want you to repeat after me. And this is a little, and I want to explain this verse also. Then you'll understand why, this question, what kind of question we should ask. This is from the Shvetashwara Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad. This verse comes many times in many scriptures. And before we chant this verse, I want to tell you something very amazing about this verse. If you go to holy places in India like Haridwar, Rishikesh, Ayodhya, Vrindavan and ask Babaji there, Are Babaji, aap Babaji kaise bane? Why did you leave home? What happened? He will say, when I was a young boy, I read this verse and I left home. You've had many people saying this. This is a very famous verse which has shaken many people. When they read it first time or they heard it first time, they left everything in search of God. You want to know what is that verse?
Yes.
But it is not what you are thinking. The meaning is totally unexpected. But first I'll tell the verse. Please repeat after me. उत्तिष्ठता जागृता प्राप्य
उत्तिष्ठता जागृता प्राप्य
वरान् निबोधता
वरान् निबोधता
शूरस्य धारा
शूरस्य धारा
निशिता दुरत्यया
निशिता दुरत्यया
दुर्गम पतस्थात्
दुर्गम ततस्तात्
कवयो वदन्ति.
कवयो वदन्ति.
These are the three lines. First line is Uttishtata, Utho, Utho, Utho. Jagrita, wake up.
Wake up.
Uttishtata, Jagrita, Prapya. You got something? Wake up, get up. What is the meaning of this first line? Wake up, get up, you got something special. What does this mean? You have a human form of life. Do something about it. That is the meaning. So people would read this first line, wow, wake up, get up. You have got something special. So they understood what that special is. They understood what it means by wake up and get up. That leave home. The people are so evolved, they understood what the first line meant. Uttishtata jagrata prapya वरान निबोधता. वरान मतलब आपको बहुत बड़ा वरदान मिला है. What is that वरदान? Human form. The second line is very interesting. क्षूरस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया. This is a path which is like walking on sword's edge. If you are not careful, you will cut yourself. It is extremely difficult. This is the second line. Durgam patastat kavayo vadanti. This path, great people have said that this is a very, very, very difficult path. So this is a verse. Essentially the shloka is saying, you have got a human form of life, come on this path which is very difficult. Many people have said in the past, it is a sword's edge, you can get cut. Come. And people would come. Imagine in our ISKCON program, we say in the first year Bhakti Viksha program, come to ISKCON, very difficult path. And it is a sword's edge, you will get cut. Very difficult. Please come to spiritual life, it is full of difficulties. Suffering, come. How many people will come? So what we do? Come to Hare Krishna. There is Prasadam, there is Gulab Jamun, we can go back home, back to Godhead. Kirtan, we will be happy. Then we come. So earlier, spiritual gurus would catch interested people. Prabhupada came and changed the game. Prabhupada created interest in people. Understand? He created by giving example, analogy, Mahaprasad, and taking care of our social need, emotional need. Some interest he created. And nowadays as preachers, we can neither catch interested people, nor can we create interest in people. We have to take care of people's interest. Don't cry. We mollycoddle them. Don't cry. Chacha, prasad talk, motivational talk, pep talk. Kuch Krishna ka bare mein nahi bolne. Then after that, he goes away happy, but I am miserable. What did I do? What did I give him? My energy is sucked. Ideally, this should be a Bhagavatam class where we speak the bitter realities of the material world and we are all suffering. And then connect to Krishna. And then that's in that space now why is answered. And then how we discover uniquely. But we are living in an age of stimulation where we want quick fixes. So that's why this is a problem. That's why many times I don't have answers to these questions. I give the standard answer which Romapa Swami Maharaj gives. If you ask him any how question, he will say associate with. Like if you say how to get taste for chanting, he will say associate with those who have taste for chanting. If you ask how to move in the journey and develop patience, Maharaj will say you associate with those who have patience. Anything you say, he will say associate with that person. If you say Maharaj how to associate with devotees, then I don't know what he will say. So that's one answer. Other answer I like is Niranjan Swami Maharaj answer. If you ask him any how question, he says in ISKCON there are how to do it questions. How to become sincere, how to become humble. He says for all these questions the answer is same. You do it by doing it. How to become humble? You become humble by becoming humble. How to become sincere, Maharaj? Become sincere. Once Prabhupada asked, Prabhupada, how to become humble? Prabhupada said, become humble. Why ask? This is a group conversation. And when Prabhupada answered that, become humble. Why ask? That punctured it was like a lightning bolt in the room. Everybody understood what Prabhupada is saying. Sometimes, Mataji, there are no answers to these questions. How? Because the speaker cannot give. It is your journey, your relationship with Krishna. So you develop a why, then how will come. And honestly, I have seen many times, Grihasthas asking Brahman renounced order, which is good. Renounced order sometimes get aerial view because they are not entangled. But sometimes they cannot answer. Like my Guru Maharaj once told me that renounced order people are like bird in the sky and Grihasthas are like fish in the water. He said, how can the fish will never understand the problem of the bird in the sky and the bird will never understand the problem of the fish. So what the pain you are going through, the anxiety and insecurity, I will never understand, and what we go through, you will never understand. So we have to give Bhagavatam, pure Katha, and speak from Bhagavatam the solution, problem, whatever, and then you apply it in your own way. Because of the culture you learn. That's how daily Katha, Satsang. Quick fix nahi hai. The point is there is no shortcut. Thank you. It's 9 o'clock now. Devakinanda Prabhu, sorry, now you have to correct me and I have छोटी में बड़ी बात आपके सामने उल्टा सीधा बोल दिया. आप अभी correct कर दीजिए. Hare Krishna.
I am just expressing that first of all it's such blessings to have you back. Krishna is so kind. I'm feeling guilty that I am not hosting you this time. Dicha is not here. And I'm also very happy that other devotees are getting chance to be more closer to you. Just one simple request I want to make. You mentioned something towards the very end that your Guru Maharaj gave this example of fish and bird. Maharaj's 75th birthday is this year. So if you can close with some sweet pastimes of your Gurudev. Just one nice something to nourish our hearts. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
If it's too late, then we have to ask them.
I am happy I can